tubers and footers? Like my hat? Sounding like it might get noisy here, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do this now. Anyhow, we're out walking with MeeMow, Freemo. We was listening along to Mogs' show. That was fun. Alright, let's go in here. I want to show you something. Hold on, let me turn this around. There we go. Judy, hey! Let me flip it back around. Hi, Judy. How you doing? I can't flip it. There's MeeMow. Say hi, MeeMow. Hey, Raymond. How's it going? All right, let's flip this around again so I can show you in the woods. Oh, I got my super slippers on again. So, you know the rules. There's no laughing without pointing and no pointing without laughing. Look at that. That kind of gave me that's got to be from a wheeler. Look at that. That's a wheeler went through here. Good. Good. Maybe I won't wipe out so bad. I'm a cruising for a bruising this evening. I'm telling you. I've been wandering around out here, no gun, no shoes. Hey, Jen. Hey, Jen. Hey, Raymond. Hey, Barry Browning. It's been forever. Judy Wheeler. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Oh, we can get trucking through here. MeeMow's going to yell at us, though. She's over there. Say hi, MeeMow. She's like, no. Pyromedic, what is happening? Hey, Pyro. Hi, how you doing? Sorry if it gets noisy tonight. We did have the big jets flying earlier. I should have came out and did some filming then. I love hearing them just pouring it on. Those dudes are so awesome. They are the toughest of the toughest, right? Just to be able to fly that aircraft. And I'm in a mood tonight, tubers and footers. Oh my gosh, I was being a goof on Moog's show. He's dealt with me enough to know I'm a goof. I don't mean nobody no harms. I'm just having fun. Where'd my magical kitty go? Oh, it's magic. I can hear her, but I can't see her. Smarty pants. Okay, look at this, tubers and footers. We got like a whole trail made for us. Oh, fancy. Look at that. Puffy shrooms. guys want to puff them? Okay, don't breathe. Here, we'll get a stick so we're not all up in it. It's business. Ready? Ready? Can you see it? Am I? Here we go. Let's get in on this. Puffy shrooms. You guys like doing this when you were a kid? I'm an adult and I still like doing it. Puffy shrooms! Puppy shrooms! Did I just say puppy shrooms? Oh well, you know what I'm saying. Puffy. Hi, MeeMow! Look who decided to join us, tubers and footers. Yeah, Judy. It's kind of fun, huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do, MeeMow? I don't think nobody wants to see this. Yeah, you're on live. You gonna rethink this plan you're doing here? Maybe? Or you want the world to see? Really, Pyro? They eat these shrooms? Cats don't care. They have no couth. Ah! MeeMow, young lady. That is so not ladylike. I'm telling. Alright, let's pull this out so you can see what's happening. Alright, so we keep coming out here and I've shown, like, after big storms when these trees fall, they get all weak and they can't hold up their canopies, so they fall all over the place and they twist when they do it. And they come down. Oh, well, at least you're cleaning up your mess, MeeMow. Oh, let's go look in the owl's nest real quick before we get scooting down the trail here. Oh my gosh. I don't recall when, where, or with whom, and I'm really working on my memory with a lot of things. Oh, whoops. Let's just pull this out of the way. Look at that. Just clear it out a little bit. It's an old one. It's like this tree has fallen down like it used to be in this crook of this tree before this fell over. And it was not so squishied up. But that's where owls like to make their little nests in the crooks of trees. Oh, those shrooms. These are, something tail. Turkey tail? I think these are turkey tail mushrooms. I think that's what they call those. Someone who knows their shrooms way better than me will be able to tell you for sure. What you doing, MeeMow? Her real name is Willow. But I like to sing MeeMow Las Vegas. Some more shroomies. Yeah, so this whole area, I've pretty much witnessed all of the storms that have produced these trees like this. So, like they'll be up and the storms will be going, and you can hear the snaps and the pops and the cracks and the whoosh. Now, granted, I'm not out here. I'm not out here like most when this is happening. So, technically, anything's possible. But for the most part, these have been done after storms, and we're talking healthy storms. Like Alaska, we don't have hurricanes up here, but we do have hurricane force winds. So, one last little poofy poof before we go. Come here, sticky. Honk honk. So, there's something that I am not really happy about that I'm going to share with y'all. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. I live remote enough that you can drive down the roads with whatever. So plug your ears, tubers and footers. Shift. How do you guys put up with me? Danny Staten. What's happening, buddy? We're out here. We got us a new trail. The four-wheeler come wheeling through here. So we got us a trail. And I can walk in my little slippies. So we're out here just exploring. I don't know if you were on Moog's show. It was a good one tonight again. Some good discussion. Entertaining discussion, too. Like, I was having a good time. Whoa. Whoa! Alright. We almost had our wipeout. I have so much nerve damage in my right leg, I can't feel it for the most part. So I've taught myself how to walk on a numb leg. Is not the easiest thing, but it can be done. Not the most graceful thing out here anymore, that's for sure. Man, I used to be able to like ting, 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 like tiptoe through the woods. Eric, what is happening? Paranormal Highway. Welcome. Souped up side by side, sounds like a plane crashing. That's a plane right there. What went by was probably, I'm gonna guess, someone's motorcycle. Little dirt bike. Look at that pretty kitty. He's so beautiful. Willow, he's a beautiful kitty. All right, so tubers and footers, they have, the infamous no, they being the Fish and Game, Alaska Department of Fish and Game, have released for a few years now cow permits for moose out here. 500 a year for a few years. So let me repeat that because it was all over the place. So for the past few years, Alaska's Department of Fish and Game have released 500 cow permits. Moose cow. That's a female moose. In case you're not familiar with the terminology. So a female moose is called a cow, and they had 500 permits for a few years that they allowed hunters to come out. And we noticed that they were pulling moose out of here. No, just for this area. They do it in different areas for different reasons, and Alaska is one of the best resource managements on the planet. Whether it's oil, no matter what it is, Alaskan resources are mined, taken, harvested, etc., etc., very mindfully, and to the point where, like, Bristol Bay still has record returns on their salmon population. So that speaks volumes to how well they are at managing the wildlife in Alaska. So they've added a prison out here lately in the past few years. A big prison. We had another prison way out there that was minimal, but this one's a more secure facility. And so the workers, the employees, were hitting moose as they were coming out here, as they were making their... Let me move so you guys don't have the same view. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to walk and talk at the same time. So, they, in order to thin the herd so they weren't having so many accidents and so many moose being killed by cars, and if a moose is hit by a car in Alaska, they have a harvest where they've got a bunch of people on a list that they can call that will come and harvest the moose. So everything up here is done very ethically and well done. MeeMow is like, no, I'm not going in there with you. But because of that big hit on the cow moose population, the population out here has decimated. And I know you guys have heard me saying, like, I don't hear the coyotes as much. We don't see nearly as much wildlife as we used to out here. And that's all due to that. Like, once you start thinning the herds, the rest goes with it. You know what I mean? Because that's their primary food source. And so, look, speaking of, there's Miss Poop. So we've noticed in this area a huge drop in wildlife activity and wildlife in general because of that factor right there. Now, as you can hear, there's a lot of traffic between the port and that prison. There is so much traffic out here now. There's nowhere to go Like, there's nowhere else to go out here. This is like dead end out here. Like, this doesn't go north, this doesn't go anywhere else. Like, this just ends out here. You're in farmland, you're just out in remote, areas. And so that's not through traffic going by. We don't have huge condos or any massive housing population out there either. So, it's I don't know, it's one of those things where it's really frustrating because you don't want to see the wildlife be pushed out like it is. But at the same time, for the wildlife's benefit, they kind of have to push them out when areas like this become high traffic zones and stuff like that. So this time of year is when these berries are bright, bright red with the fall colors. So pretty. So that's something I've noticed. And so along with that, I don't hear the coyotes as much. I don't have nearly as much weird activity out here. Stuff that you're like, I don't know what that was. MeeMow, are you coming? She's still down the hill, debating if she wants to follow us. So as far as like if there was like the guys are out on the trail back across the lake right now. That's why I'm not over there. They're over there going out as far as they can, and they make that trek as much as possible. And we're kind of trying to keep an eye on everything, especially now with all the see, do you hear this traffic? It is nuts. Like, this goes on all night long. It's crazy. So, like I said, there's nothing out there. This is all just from the prison. Like, there's nowhere for these people to go. They can go to the port, so that's when you hear the big, big rigs, is when they're hauling stuff from the port. And sometimes they haul stuff out to the prison as well. And then you've got the little Susitna River. So you've got, I wouldn't say a major hunting fishing zone, but it is. It's accessible for people. That's the thing with Alaska. We don't have a lot of roads to areas. And Daily Dan has been up here. He'll tell you. He's flown out of a helicopter. There's just not a lot of roads up here. So accessibility to remote places, you either have to have a boat, a plane, an ATV, some method to get out there, because there's no maintained roads. Oh my gosh, can you hear Willow? MeeMow! Oh my gosh. Sounds pitiful. I don't want to make her. That's all we need is her calling in bears. But that's another thing. Oh, there she is. Hi, Willow. Here I am. I'm right here. That's the other thing is, bears. We've had like maybe one that we've really seen, a couple, but there used to be, prints and sign and all of that of bear everywhere. You know, I mean, I just thought I heard. You always got to pay attention when you're out here. Because bears can be sneaky like cats. And it's not magic. So I don't know if, like, that's something to consider. You know, I'm all over the place, sorry, tubers and footers, but that is something to consider for when you're researching an area for Bigfoot, is the habitat and what is happening to those areas. Like, it could be something that you're not really aware of, you know, like, you know, fish and game, maintaining herds and stuff. So if they're consciously moving big game, like moose is not small game, that's a big game animal. So if they're consciously moving big game out of this area to prepare, you know. Really? Oh. Then you have to wonder, like, you know, would something like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Footy Man, sorry, I keep thinking I hear something. Is that you, Lee? Dude, I was gonna send you a message and see if you wanted to go try the dual live. We should try that soon. So if they are pushing out big game and then the rest of the game follows, like the coyotes, I'm sorry. But the coyotes and all the other stuff follow along suit. So, like I was saying, at night I don't hear the coyotes near as much. Are you gonna go with me, Mo? You ready to go back? So I don't hear the coyotes nearly as much. We don't see the big game as much. We do see evidence of them. But it's just something that we've really noticed here lately. And it's just part of life. I mean, habituating an area for humans, not for habituating Sasquatch to humans, but, you know, as we take over more and more land, more puffy mushrooms, animals are getting moved away and moved out. And so, you know, is it going to get to a point where they are, you know, condensed into such small areas that look what I just grabbed a hold of. Little pokey for you. Is nothing like some good old rose thorns to make you feel alive. Just trying to find a stick. Okay. Sorry. I just can't help myself. Tubers and footers. Hopefully I'm not driving y'all nuts. Hey, MeeMow. Look what's happening. Those things are ridiculous. You can eat all that stuff, you know. So if you were a... Yeah. Thank you, it is. See, so there is evidence of moose poop, you know, but nothing like we used to see. And all of the other stuff has dissipated along with them. So it's interesting. Like, since this has all come out here, we've actually been considering buying some more property, even more remote. It's a hangar, tubers and butters. It's a hangar. Okay, let me see if I can get over there without sliding down the hill. in 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 my little slippies. Got my slippers on. Because that's what you do. You go for a walk in the woods, right? Look, it's just dangling up there. Okay, these are things that I find interesting. First thing you look at is, okay, is it the same type of tree? No. Like, that treetop does not belong to that tree or those trees. But those trees now, so you go up and look up. Well, they all have their tops. Huh. That's not a branch. Because you're in Alaska. Unless you're in the southeast Alaska, specifically southeast Alaska, like southwest Alaska, no. Southeast Alaska, you are in, you know, big trees. You're getting into the trees. But for most of Alaska, these trees are pathetic. Like, they're little itty bitty guys. So we don't have big, giant, massive limbs and stuff like that. I mean, we do, like, you know, the cottonwoods and stuff get big, but nothing like they do down south. We've got some Sitka spruce that get really big. But again, that's more in your southeastern areas. Yeah. Bear can plow through these trees like they're toothpicks. It's kind of terrifying to watch. If you're flying over and you watch the bear just plowing through, it's like you feel real small and insignificant real fast like. All right, I'm just trying to pick my path of least destruction, of least pain and misery. Oh, oh boy. Wait. Oh, that's MeeMow squeaking. It's like, I think I hear some noises. It's my own cat. I'm coming, MeeMow, I'm coming. Okay, so like I was saying before I got so rudely interrupted by the loud, rambunctious noises, see, like, these big wooded piles, like where, like, it naturally piles up, you know, when trees come down and they come together and they're coming apart. There are places like that, you know, where, oh, it's an X. And another one. But those are like natural. To me, that's all natural. That's just debris falling from above. But then you look up and you're like, oh, okay, well, here's spruce trees. And you look up, there's no spruce trees right here. There's one right there. There's some way over there. But the wind will pick it up and carry it. Okay, so let's see if I can get on the, here we go. Here we go, Tibbets and Footers. Has a different view of that hanger. It's way up there. I'm not gonna try and scale this hill to get under it. Although as entertaining as that may be, I'd probably just take my shoes off and go barefoot, really. That would be my best option. You just gotta be careful about foot placement, but I used to go barefoot all the time. That's why it used to crack me up when people would say, you wouldn't see someone out here in their bare feet. I'm like, well, well. Yeah, I almost took a video. I was going down the trail and there was this dude coming around and he had bare feet on some of the worst, like pine coney, just gnarly trail you could imagine. Some people, like the Fijians, oh my gosh, the bottom of their feet are, you know, because they're barefoot. Like people who do it a lot build up a tolerance. Us little tenderfoots, we don't have that kind of skills. We can't be walking on fire and coals and all that cool stuff. Anyhow, I keep having this memory and I can't place the time, the place, who I was with, and those things are really frustrating for me. Like I have this problem with all the brain damage that's happened, you know, and so I try and be really careful with memories and stuff. So I always try and ask, you know, like those who are around, is this right? Am I remembering this correctly, or am I just wah? So it just, your memory is so what's the word I'm looking for? Fallible. It's just, you can't really depend on it 100%. So I'm always trying to work on, you know, on my memory and retention and all of that kind of stuff. But the memory I have is where we were running, and I can't remember what we were running from. Why? Like, these are the things that are frustrating for me. Like, there's all these things around it. But I specifically remember, like, scaling this mountainside area. And there was a lot of, like, this isn't doing it justice enough. I'm trying to find the good spot, but where they're all just, like, wadded up in a big mess. Anyhow, so for whatever reason, we were out in the Tules, which I spent the most of my non-working hours in the Tules. Like something like this. Here we go. So there was something like this. Anyhow, and so I'm scaling up this side of this mountain. And for me, I kind of vaguely thought we were running from a bear. Like, that's not running from a bear, but getting out of the way of a bear coming. Anyhow, so I'm scaling this side of this mountain, and I go over something like this. And I am in my bare feet, okay, because again, I used to be barefoot a lot. Anyhow, I was in my bare foot, and when I, like, as I stepped up, this is a perfect, so as I stepped up, and I'm like, you can see down, you know, so like as you're stepping up and you're looking for placement and your foot placement and everything and making sure these trees aren't going to just collapse on you. Anyhow, so as I was stepping up and I looked down in there was something brown and furry. And I remember like like that collapsing, and I stepped on it. Like I stepped on it, and it freaked me out because I thought I had stepped on a bear. And I remember just like I couldn't scale that mountain any faster. And this is what's frustrating. I can't remember who was with me. But I remember turning around and saying, there was a bear. There was a bear. There was a bear in there. And that's it. That is it. That's it. I don't remember the circumstances around it, the time, like how old none of that is coming to me. Like none of that. So it's really a frustrating thing, but it's like so vivid of a memory, not like a dream, but like a memory, you know. But yeah. But there's certain people in my past that I do not talk to. You know, you've had those situations, and so it's not like I'm going to be calling people up and going, hey, do you remember? So there's so many weird things like that, you know, that I've had while out gallivanting. Did I do chemotherapy? Yes, I've done chemotherapy. I had the super, it was 5 and 7 is what it's called, but it was like a really intensive therapy. The first round, I was in the hospital. I couldn't leave the hospital for 6 weeks straight. And then for 6 months, I went in for a week at a time and would have the chemo pumped in, and I went through that. And hopefully I will never have to go through that ever again. Yeah, chemo brain. It is a real thing. It is a real thing. It's horrible for someone who loves their brain. Like, I wasn't someone that was experimenting with crazy drugs and stuff like that because I loved thinking. I loved computer science. I loved my career. You know, so I was afraid to hamper with my mind. And like when I was going through, like when oh my gosh, when my spinal cord fluid, when they tore that all open and my spinal fluid was leaking, and that was separate. Like I've been through the gamut on medical stuff on different ends, and this is just for my back. But had we known I had leukemia, we probably wouldn't have went through all the back surgeries because the bone pain was from the blood cancer. You know what I mean? When you have cancer in your blood, it's everywhere. It's not like just in my lymph nodes or it's everywhere. So there's no cure for my cancer. But right now, my numbers are super low. And hopefully soon, I will be considered what they call in remission for leukemia. I've been doing really good. So I've beat the odds tremendously. So, but yeah, chemo brain, it fried my brain. But when I was going through the surgeries and stuff for my back, when they tore I think it's called the dura, and the spinal fluid was leaking. I still have a big, huge sac in my back where it fills into this sac. I was hallucinating, and that was the most terrifying I don't know why someone would do that or want to hallucinate for fun. That was not fun. Not a good time. I was not having a good time. Yeah. So that has been, like, so as far as trying to get my brain back together, it's been a haul, let me tell you, because during all that sickness and stuff, I regressed too, like completely regressed to like a little 5-year-old. And oh my gosh, I went between a 5-year-old and a 180-year-old, like wing, 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 wing. It was crazy. My poor husband. Oh, that guy he's incredible. He deserves a saint award for putting up with what we went through. Oh my gosh. So yeah, your brain will go bonkers, and that's why I've been really, really um, gentle and just trying to take it easy on myself. I got all super overzealous and applied for Harvard one night just because I was like, I need to get my identity back. And, yeah. Now what am I gonna do? Tubers and footers. At least it's not brick and mortar. It's their online business school. So, but still, so I've been just having a really rough time because I feel really stupid, at times, because my mind will just go blank. It will just, it could be a topic I know inside and out, left, back, central, forward, all the way around, and gone. The other thing that I've noticed is like Iron Dog history. This is something like I used to be an Iron Dog encyclopedia. Like, you could ask me statistics from the races, who raced what year, how they finished, what they rode, who their partners were, in what year, blah, blah, blah. Like, I had such an incredible memory. And so, like, it's like all of that is just gone. Oh, all right, Lee. I'll have to give you my info. I mean, I think you've got my email. I mean, I give my email out. It's, anybody can have it. It's just Iron Dogger. Iron Dogger 01 at Yahoo. The 01, that's the year Missy and I ran. So there's, okay, all this stuff. Yeah, so I have so many different memories and that are just not filed properly. Like, my brain is just kind of getting itself together. There are some certain memories that are solid, Like when I remembered that whole thing when we were walking down the trail, I called my friend Stephanie and I was like, did did this happen? What was that? Like, you know what that was. You're so funny. It's like, okay, just checking. Yeah, like this area in here. Like if someone were to just step in here, wouldn't you say, "Oh, is a this is bows, like this is Bigfoot stuff." They're all weaved together. You know, see how these trees are like weaved together? This one's bent over. That one's crossed here. You see that? The lighting's kind of going to crap. Sorry, tubers and footers, but it feeds up through there. It's crossing over here. This one's bent over into it from there, which also has a bunch of sticks that are kind of leaning on it. Can you see that? Let me see. Those are leaning on that, which is leaning onto here, which is all tied into this, which then ties up into this. So shall we go venture over there and see what we got over there? Alright. We're losing the light for looking for tracks and stuff. Alright. Sorry. If you only knew, the struggle is real. Alright. So, how do you guys put up with me? I'll never know. Okay. So see how it's all kind of weaved all in here? Like magic? Oh, I'm gonna have fun with that for a while, I think. Yeah, there's lots of these bows, and see how they're all just like little baby ones, and X's, and big X's, and medium bows, and then you got the big Bahama bows. We almost went down with that one. All right. Okay. I don't want to become a missing 411 out here. All right. There we go. See all the little... There's bows that make an X and the bow different directions. Like, wee, and that one comes and ties all into here. Look at the ferns. I love ferns. Okay, I'm trying to walk and not kill plants and nor myself. Okay, right there is a stump. So don't get alarmed. That's a stump. I can see it from here. Yeah, if you think you see anything, let me know and I will go poke it with a stick or something. Make it where wear my hat. So look, the further over here you get, the crazier this gets. Like, I'm trying to debate how I would even get in here. Well, If my back wasn't so angry, we could do a few different ways, but let's try this one. I should have brought MeeMow. It's just gonna be a quick little walk. Stumpy squatch. Yeah, it's like Stump Bear. I used to see Stump Bear everywhere. Stop. Is that stump moving? That's what I like to say a lot now. Is that stump moving? Awesome. Thanks, Lee. I'll give you my number and we can chitty chat. Okay. Don't fall down on me, tree, because that won't be nice. Reinforcing the tree with kindness. Works every time. Okay. Yeah, if the stump moves, go the other way. If the stump moves, we got a problem. So this is, okay, this is reminiscent of. It's not the same because these are a bit smaller. But like imagine trees like that. So the cottonwoods, you know, that's not a cottonwood, but the cottonwoods, okay, and they're laid out like this, okay, and they're weaved into like a spider web kind of just like this, where they're off the ground, but you really can't. I mean, you could get underneath it and get going, but this was out similar to that area I came upon when I was training for mountain bike racing. And I used to go off-roading all the time with my mountain bike and just get into some of the worst conditions possible, you know. And I'll have to bust out my racing bike for you guys so you can see it. But so I would come out in conditions like this and just rally through, you know, and see as far as I could get. And then, you know, you'd carry your bike through areas and stuff like that. But that's how I used to have fun. Some of the ways I had fun in the summertime. Anyhow, so when I was out training one night, there was something coming after me. And I could hear it coming after me. I couldn't tell what it was. But I could hear it. And that sense of dread, like a very looming sense of dread, was just like, it had me in its grip fully. And it got to a spot and it was like I came up to like here, like where you come up, boom, and you've got to make a choice. Either go under it or go over it. And I had my mountain bike and there was no way I was going to get my mountain bike and me crawling under it swiftly. And in my mind, I felt, well, these trees were big enough and it seemed like it was kind of webbed enough that I could hop across it. And it was kind of like this distance just about too. And so I just picked my bike up and chucked it. This is a $2,000 plus bike. I am just heaving through the woods. Fly, baby, fly. Just heaved it through. Boom! And just chucked it. And then I jumped over and as I was going over the trees, I was thinking, this is it. This is how people die. Like, this is it. The bear's going to come out and it's going to get me. Like, I have nowhere to go. It's going to get me. Because it would be able to come up from underneath and just... Lunch, boys and girls. Oh, here's the guys are coming back. There's my guys. Yeah, so I heaved my bike over that and I jumped up on those logs and I was booking across those things as fast as I could. I used to be nimble. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. And I got across that and it just, like, as I was going across it, I cannot express that dread feeling. Like, it's right there. It's got me. I'm in a trap. Like, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a trap. It felt like that was a trap. It ambushed me and got me to go that direction. That's like, that's how it felt. And oh my gosh, it was not an easy feeling. And so, like, that experience was really freaky. Really freaky. And I could not get out of those woods fast enough. And what was really weird was right after I got past that little gridded area and just beyond it a little bit, because it was like after I got my bike over and I was able to get out of there, because it wasn't locked up like that. Like, it was seriously like a choke point. It was like that heavy, intense feeling lifted. The feeling of being watched disappeared. Like, all of that went away the further away I got from that area. It was just a really intense moment, you know. So I've got all of these different weird experiences that, you know, you can't say, oh, that was certainly a Bigfoot. You know, I would never say that. None of my experiences, even when that thing stepped out on the trail, even with the footprints in the snow, you know, the thing that came across the river. I mean, the Matsu River is nothing to sneeze at. I can't say for 100% that that's what it was, but it fits the narrative. And that, I think, is when more people become aware of the narrative and the different things to look out for, we might hear more stories from these outdoorsmen and these avid hunters and stuff, you know. Like, I have a hard time thinking that, for the most part, I don't think that an animal that wants to be left alone is gonna mess with hunters so much. But unless they're defending their area, like, there's certain circumstances, yeah. So for the most part, I think hunters probably aren't a big candidate, you know, in all reality, for seeing them. Like, we have to start thinking logically about situations, you know, because everybody's like, oh, well, hunters are in the woods all the time. Well, if you've got an intelligent being that knows what they're out there for, I have a hard time believing they're going to be hanging around it just to hang out and watch, you know. So you can't have it. Yeah, she left me, MeeMow. Remember how Woo Woo did that? Yeah, they both get to a point where they're like, you're on your own. You were so on your own. I'm gonna try and Judy, wouldn't that be a hoot to actually see a stump move though? Oh my god. Wouldn't it though? You know, I don't think of myself as so open-minded that anything can flow through, you know, like I've said before, where you can drive a semi through it. But I do love metaphysics. I do love the quantum possibilities of things. And so I find it fascinating how many different stories there are, from just like folklore, natives, things like that, where they talk about their elders being able to move through trees like portals. That stuff blows my mind because, you know, you just, wow, like take certain conversations that are in one area and not so much in another, you know. Sorry, I'm just trying to let the traffic go. But it's pretty interesting, I think. It's getting dark in here. It's spooky. No, it's not. No, it's not. Once you're used to spending time in the woods, and you've spent a lot of time in the woods, you become very comfortable with it being dark, you know, different, you know, whether it's raining, whether it's, you know, terrible weather outside, things like that. You become very comfortable. So if you're not comfortable in the woods, like people are all the time telling me, you're nuts. Why are you out there by yourself? That's crazy. It is really crazy to be out here by yourself. But it's also rewarding. And I'm not out here by myself. I got the tubers and footers are here. I bet you Jake is going to be out here. Captain Jake is going to be on the hunt, looking for his lovey pie. What did I say? Hi, lovey pie. I knew it. I knew it. Bum, 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 bum. Can you see him? He's coming. There he is. Say hi. We're out exploring. MeeMow bailed on me.
Yeah, she was up by the house wanting to get in. You find Footy Man?
No.
I didn't either.
But look at all this.
Yeah.
You should see this area over there. Oh, we'll have to look at it in the daytime. Jen says, hi, Captain Jake.
Hi.
Flip the camera around so they can see us. Oh, hi. It's getting dark out here. He's so handsome. All right. It's getting dark out here, tubers and footers.
It's gonna get cold tonight.
Yeah, it is. So I brought him down the four-wheeler trail over here. There's some puffy mushrooms. But that area over there where all the trees are weaved in together.
Crazy, huh?
It is pretty crazy. Because a lot of it, you can say the wind does this and that, but there's some of that weaving that's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
But the wind could do that too, because the wind whips shit around. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's
Snow, wind.
Yeah.
Weird growth patterns.
Oh, we are leaving Alaska on the 27th, heading back down to Oregon. I have my blood work to get done. Hopefully we'll go to every 6 months. That's the deal. Are you heading off to bed, Bed, Jen? Good night. Are you aware of how dark it's getting? Danny, it's bright out here. What you talking about? Like, we could see pretty good. How long have we been? Oh, my phone's probably going to die here soon, too. It's probably a good time to call it, tubers and footers. I'll be out here later on to listen to the hootenannies, if there are any. But like I said, with all of the permits and everything that's happened, all of the wildlife has dissipated greatly. You can hear the traffic. It's pretty nuts. Yeah. Alrighty, tubers and footers, let's call her for the evening. Thank you guys for taking a walk. We'll see you soon. I don't even have a light on me, so we'll come out some other time with light or with light. With light or with a light. Alright, tubers and footers. Let me flip this back around. Alright, you guys have a good night, tubers and footers. We'll see you soon.